Hey guys, it's me, Lethea. I'm back, and I feel great. I feel great. So you guys know I took some time off, a couple weeks, because I had COVID. I was exposed at my office, and there was myself and 4 others that had gotten exposed that day. So I did catch coronavirus, and I've been, for the last couple weeks, fighting that devil, ugly demon of an illness. And guys, when I say that coronavirus was something to behold, it was. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later. But in honor of me surviving coronavirus this far, I am wearing my superhero shirt. And this is just saying that I am a superhero. My superpower is fighting off viruses. So there we go. All right. So I posted an update video yesterday or the day before, and someone asked about doing something with portobello mushrooms. And so today we are going to be making some portobello mushrooms. I have some here. We're going to make some portobello pizza. So let's just get into this. And while we're doing this, I guess I can talk to you a little bit about, my illness that I had. But anyway, so we're going to start this recipe off with some large portobellos. I normally would have gotten some a little bit bigger than this, but I ordered Instacart, and I was at the mercy of who was shopping for me. I don't dare go into a store right now. So I've got some portobello mushrooms. I have some organic girl baby spinach, and that's what's in this container right here. I have some white onion that I pre-cut up. We're gonna put that in there. I have some cherry tomatoes that I sliced into small little slices. And I have some basil that I'm going to be putting on mine. I'm going to be using some marinara sauce. And what's a pizza without some cheese? So at your discretion, you can use mozzarella. You can get a light mozzarella. And I'm also going to use this 6 cheese Italian. You could also use a vegetarian cheese with this if you like. Before, you guys, we talked about how it's sometimes hard to cook for our liver and just for ourselves when we have a family and other people that we have to think about. And I'm no different. And so as good of a sport as my husband is, he wants a little beef, a little grit to his meals. So for his pizza today, I'm going to give him some pepperoni. He loves meat. And I have over here, I'm going to show you, I got some spicy Italian sausage ground up, and I browned that. So he's going to have pepperoni. I'm just going to call his a meat lover's portobello, right? But it's still without that carb crust, all right? So let's get into this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open up my portobello mushrooms. Now, the thing with the portobellos, guys, is that they absorb water. So we do want to clean these, but we don't want to rinse them with water because they'll absorb all the extra water. So first I am going to, you guys see this? I'm going to de-gill them. They kind of look like fish gills, right? You can eat these, but sometimes these make your recipe a little bit dark or a little bit mushy. So we're going to clean these gills and the stems out of these portobellos. And after I do that, I'm going to just wipe them down with a nice wet rag to clean off all that exterior stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this and clean out these gills. I remember when I was a little girl, I used to be afraid of mushrooms. I would see them in the yard and I would run. Someone told me they were the devil. And I would run every time I saw a mushroom. And who'd have thought that all these years later, I'd be cooking recipes with them and eating them and loving them. So I'm just gonna take these gills out of here. Like so, can you get, yeah, there we go. De-gill those. And somehow the gills on the fish help them breathe. And that was one of the big things, with coronavirus. A lot of people have some breathing issues with that. And I must say that my symptoms were actually quite mild compared to others, that get very sick and have to go to the hospital and ICU, and some who have even lost their lives, unfortunately, to it. But it feels like someone has taken like a vice or some kind of a belt or something and tied it around your chest. Like it just feels very, very tight. And also my lungs felt sore, like from the inside. They felt sore, like they hurt. It was the weirdest thing. Some people say COVID is like a flu, a severe flu. It feels nothing like the flu. It's an entirely different entity. It's something entirely different, guys. Entirely different. And I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So if you can, especially with liver issues or other underlying health issues, make sure that you're protecting yourself. You're wearing your mask when you go out in public. You're washing your hands and all of that stuff. And when I say I got it in the office, I was around this girl probably no more than 15 minutes. Probably no more. I had on my mask. She and others, no one else in the office had their masks on. And I did at one point remove my mask. Although momentarily, I still removed it, and that's how I ended up getting coronavirus. So you guys, they do work. And the downside of it, I had to spend 2 weeks upstairs in my own house away from my husband in isolation, and it was scary and sad, and I was so lonely. And in retrospect, it wasn't worth me not making sure I was protected when I was around others. So that's my soapbox about that. Feel free if you guys have any questions. You could inbox me or you could put them in the comments about coronavirus. Oh, something else too. They tell you to take these supplements. So always check with your doctor first, but I was told by friends, people in my COVID group, and some medical professionals to take vitamin D, B, C, zinc, and Pepsid. Apparently there's something in Pepsid that does something with the mast cells in the coronavirus and stops it from doing that, or stops your body from doing that crazy immunohisto. I don't know, I'm not medical like that, but whatever it was, I think I do credit those for me having such a mild case. Although I tell you, I say mild case, there were days that I couldn't get up. There were days, it was like a motorcycle. Oh Lord Jesus, like a roller coaster almost. You could feel good one moment, and the next moment you just feel like you got hit by something. So it's a weird disease. I tell you, it felt like there was some kind of alien or monster inside of my body, and that was fighting me from the inside. And my body was doing its best 24/7 to fight it out. Scary, scary, scary. So anyway, So as you can see, I'm getting all the gills out of these portobellos. Can you see that? I don't know if getting the gills out. And I thought I had to cut that stem with a knife, but I don't. It just pulls out pretty easily. I'm just gonna keep gutting our portobello like that. In the interim, I do have my oven back there is preheating. It's on 400. I do have that on 400 preheating. Let me finish getting these gills out of here. And I just have one more to go. I'm excited about this recipe. And then the rest of the week. So someone also suggested some portobello tacos. So since tomorrow is Tuesday, let's do Taco Tuesday, and we'll do it with some mushrooms, some portobello mushrooms. I got a cool recipe for that, and some low carb tortillas for it. That should be good. And then on Wednesday, someone asked about some chicken breasts recipe. So we're gonna do a chicken breast, a chicken breast roll. And we're gonna stuff it with some items, some other vegetables and stuff. And on Thursday, we're gonna do some stuffed adobo peppers. So we have a whole cool week of some cool recipes that I wanna try. So now that I've gutted those portobellos, you can see guys, I've gutted them like a fish. I'm gonna take my towel and get it nice and wet and wipe off all the dirty stuff on the mushrooms, okay? And again, the reason why I'm doing this and not rinsing them is because the mushrooms, they take up water like a sponge, and you don't want soggy, gooey pizza. So I'm just gonna clean these, get all the dirt gunk off the back of it. There we go. Shine it up. Got that one. I'm gonna get some towel. So I'm feeling so good today, guys, that I took another walk. I walked 3 miles today. So I'm still, that was the other thing with this COVID. You get afraid of getting that pneumonia. They say if you lay around, you'll get pneumonia and blood clots. So although I didn't feel like doing anything, I made sure every day I got up and I did something. Sometimes I just stood up on the edge of the bed and just moved my legs around. I may have done my arms, that kind of thing, some twists, some squats. One day I actually went on my porch and did some yoga. Now here's the truth. I don't know how to do yoga. I was making up my own yoga moves. They say downward dog. I don't know. I was like crooked hog. I don't know. I was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But whatever it was, I was making sure that I was going to be moving around because I didn't want to get pneumonia and I don't want blood clots. One other thing I did that was not smart, wasn't liver smart at all, was I was so afraid to get that fever that everyone talks about that I started taking Tylenol, and I was taking it like every 4 hours, 500 milligrams, every 4 hours. And I noticed that when I had a bowel movement, which was a lot, they were pale and chalky. And so that freaked me out because, you know, when you first get this liver thing, you know, the first thing they say, when your bowels are pale and chalky, there's something wrong with your liver. So I automatically attribute it to that Tylenol. But I did have a visit with my doctor, televisit, and she said that oftentimes viruses will do that to your liver as well. So that's something to keep in mind, you know, if you're seeing white chalky stools, of course you're going to get it checked out with your doctor with your liver issues, but it could be a virus and not just your liver acting crazy. So, yeah, so here I'm still just wiping these off, cleaning our little portobellos, or portobella, portal something. There we go. 2 more to go. And this is a real quick recipe. Like, this is not bad, not hard at all. I probably should have prepped these, but I kind of wanted you guys to see how I do this. Especially, I'm not trying to discriminate, but there might be some guys or even some ladies that need a step-by-step, that aren't too proficient in the kitchen, and they need step-by-step. So this is why we are doing this. Last one. Turn this over. This one's dirty. This is a dirty bird. So I'm just wiping it. Like that. Okay. Look at that. All that dirt coming off of it. So there we go. We have our portobellos all cleaned up. All right, so that is that. This is sticking to the counter. Just gonna put that in the sink. Okay, so now that we have done that, I am going to take our spinach. We've got spinach, that's the first thing I'm gonna put in there. And I'm gonna lay some spinach just inside of the bottom of our portobello crust. One sec, guys. All right, I just want to get a little bit of olive oil because I'm gonna put it just on the outside of those mushrooms. And I'm just gonna take and put a little on my hand here, and I'm gonna put them on the back side. Just gonna put it on the back side. And then I'll rub it in a sec. I just want to get them a little bit. So I'm gonna get in the oven. They'll roast up kind of nicely. All right, so I just rub a little olive oil on the back side there. That's something else I do when I cook sometimes. I just get a bright idea and I just kind of go for it. This recipe also calls for some olives, and I am trying to cut back on my sodium, so I'm not going to be using olives in my recipe. But in one of the comments, I put the ingredients and the recipe. You can go in there and you could use those if you like. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay some spinach inside of our crust, quote unquote. You can put as much or as little as you like. However you feel like making your pizza. Can you see this happening? Yep, okay. Move this out of the way. And I'm just tearing those stems off. You don't have to, but it'll make it easier to eat. You are biting into it. You don't have a spinach stem to contend with. There we go. That's probably good. Yeah? Yeah. There we go. Okay, so I have my spinach there. So then I'm going to take my marinara sauce. I'm just using tomato and basil spaghetti sauce for that. I like this classical. If I can get it open. Oh, hang on a sec, guys. Guess I'm not as strong as I... Well, now my hands are greasy from the olive oil. See how I can get that open, because I'm gonna help. Where's the husband when you need him, eh? This isn't opening. Hang on. Okay, I think that did it. All right, there we go. Whew. I just stuck a little butter knife under there and that helped me out. We get another spoon. And I'm just gonna spoon this marinara sauce. I'm gonna get those out of the way. Can you guys see? I'm gonna take this marinara sauce. I'm just gonna kind of spoon it into, or on top of our little pizza. Just like you would do a pizza. The flavor of marinara that I'm using is tomato and basil. Hopefully I'll give it another extra little kick. Let's fold it in there, put a bit more in there. And I know the recipe that I posted gives you some parameters, you know, but kind of do whatever you want to do. Put as much sauce or as little sauce as you would like on yours. Some people don't like pizza sauce or very much sauce or cheese or whatever. But the good thing about this is you can put on it whatever you want. And there you have it. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit more generous with this one. It's gonna be so good. I can just tell. A bit more. Okay, that looks good to me. See that? All right, so now that I've done that, I'm gonna take some onions. In fact, I'm gonna do my husband's pepperoni and Italian sausage before I put the onions on there. Let's see that. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna give him the bigger ones. Give him a little bit of sausage. And this is hot, spicy Italian sausage I'm putting on his. There we go. And I'll put it on this one. And I'm gonna open up this pepperoni. Is there an easy open? No, I'm just gonna cut it open and put it in the plastic when I'm done. And so normally I would have gotten some smaller pieces of pepperoni, but remember the Instacart person shopped for me? So I wonder if how that would work. I'm gonna cut it up for him. I'm going to cut it up because I'm such a good wife. So I'm gonna just cut it. You see what I'm doing there? I'm just gonna cut this pepperoni up into some smaller pieces and place it on his pizza. Hope he likes it. And then here's his other one. And I have too much pepperoni. But he's a man, he likes that kind of stuff. All right, so got the pepperoni, and then we are going to put some tomatoes. In fact, I think I'm gonna put cheese on first. Let's go with this mozzarella first. I'm just gonna kind of, has anyone ever worked like in a pizzeria? I haven't. And even when my kids were little, I never like made pizzas and stuff for them. I think I might have been a bad mom. I don't know. So we got the pizza, the cheese. And again, whatever it is that you're doing for your diet, some people say we shouldn't eat cheese. Some say we should eat it in moderation. So this is your discretion for your body and you know what you can do. Maybe you could use this for a cheat meal. I don't know. I'm not sure. But so we've got that. So let's go ahead and put these tomatoes that I pre-cut. These are just cherry tomatoes. There we go, guys. And so, as you can see, it was just kind of painless to make two different types of meals, something that I would eat and then something that he would eat. And you can do this with any recipe. You know, I know it's hard and, you know, sometimes our husbands or our kids or people that we live with don't support how we're trying to eat because they don't want to eat that way. But it's so crazy that we've conditioned ourselves to think that eating healthy is bad and doesn't taste good. And that's not necessarily true at all. I've been enjoying my food. So I wish we could just normalize eating healthy. So I've got the tomatoes. I'm going to throw some onions on top of everyone's pizza here. I'm going to break those up in smaller pieces. I like onions. I actually like green peppers on my pizza too. And then when I get done, I might sprinkle it with some crushed red pepper. So we'll do that. Curious to see how this is going to turn out, folks. I'm sweating a little bit, so I don't know if this is COVID sweat or if it's hot in this house. I'm not sure. And I am over it. The health department actually said that I was clear on Friday or Saturday, one of those days, but I've opted to stay quarantined, you know, until Wednesday. So I'm cooking this now, and I'm going to sterilize the kitchen and everything before my husband gets home. Hopefully I'll beat him before he gets home so that we don't run the risk of infecting him. We're out of the woods. I know for a fact we're out of the woods, but I just want to make sure. So I'm just cleaning that up a little bit so that when I put that in the oven, it won't smell so bad. So here are our Portobello pizzas. I am also going to take this. Y'all don't always forget stuff. My ADD is off the chain. This basil. And I'm going to sprinkle some basil. This is some half-dried basil. And I'm going to give it, you know, what's pizza without basil? I think I might even want to put another dollop of sauce. I'm not sure. How's that, guys? Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It smells so good. So, I'm going to take my little pizzas and I'm going to put them in the oven. The oven is preheated at 400 and I'm going to cook them for 15 minutes-ish. All right, be right back.